Oh, whoops. We gotta do one of these. I am 3+Kei. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. It is raining, guys. I'm going to take you out here just for 1 second. It is so bootleg out here. Look at this. Rain, 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 rain. Go away. So we've got to come inside. We usually wrap up at 9. We're wrapping up right now instead. So you're going to get the channel where you can see everything that is happening. Let's sing our little jingle together. If you're new here, this is the Secret Heart Club. It's where we live stream all things Jesus Christ, baby. Welcome to the Secret Heart Club, everyone. There's a part to bring love. Hey, we love Jesus at the Secret Heart Club. And then somebody starts beatboxing and doing the robot eventually. Tomorrow, I will air the video for our friend, Lord Poppy. If you're new here, Lord Poppy is a consistent and OG member of the Secret Heart Club, and Poppy is having a little girl in mid-September, and she has 8 more items on her registry. And so all we're going to do, I'm going to make a video, and then I will promote the video. And all we need to do, guys, is get Poppy these last 8 items on her registry. So that video will air most likely tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then we'll continue to air literally around the world for the next 30 days for the duration of August. And then we'll regroup and see. Whoops, this doesn't go in the garbage. We'll regroup and see where she is. We've got Afton. Say hi, Afton.
Hi.
There's Afton, and Ralph coming at you live with a basket of cheese. It's also blocking the view, but that's okay. Ralph is famous for his sense of humor.
No, I'm not.
Ralph is always tearing us up around here. I will tell you, I've been reading the 4-hour work week, and I have some notes from today, which I'll read while I'm waiting for dishes. Number 1, propose a solution. Don't ask for one. Number 2, elicit desired responses instead of reacting. I think can be a little difficult for me because my face tends to say what I'm thinking, and I've been really working on that. I think I've gotten a lot better. I would prefer to have maybe a blank stare instead of looking at you like you need to get your whole entire life together. But that's another story for another time. And the third thing is to develop the uncommon habit of making decisions, both for yourself and for others. And we'll be talking about this. If you guys saw what the video topic is tomorrow, we're going to be talking about not what August looks like. August is going to be a Poppy thing. It's going to be called like Project Poppin' Poppy or Project Poppy's Poppin'. One of those. It'll be a PPP type thing for August. We just need to make sure we get Poppy what she needs for this little girl. And then in September, we are going to start a new thing, guys. Yeah, he's long gone. That's Mom about to go find the boy. The boy is long gone. So feel free to hit the notification bell for the information about September that's coming on tomorrow. Shannon says, hey, Shannon. Fishy fish. Whoop, 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 fishy fish. I'm sorry, that was not helpful, was it? One thing I know, guys, let's talk about these things one by one. One by one. So remember, number one, propose a solution, don't ask for one. Number two, elicit desired responses instead of reacting. Number three, develop the uncommon habit of making decisions both for yourself and for others. So, no, hi, Mo.
Hi, does this happen to be your guys' red truck by any chance?
No, it's theirs.
The serpentine?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna ask you if they can move it for
Yeah, they're really nice. Okay, propose a solution, don't ask for one. Propose a solution, don't ask for one. So if you didn't know, this channel is, oh man, that was a 12-year-old boy coming through. No, down, nope, to the side, nope, right there. Dang it, right here. No, oh, yeah. Does it work? Make sure we can see.
Yeah, go over there.
Look at me.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, that works.
Just trying to silence the child. The child knows more than me. Now I forgot what it was. Oh, propose a solution instead of asking for one. So in the context, and I'll give you guys a little hint about what September is going to look like, is that we're going to talk about evangelism and what does it mean to talk to people about Christ or initiate these types of conversations. So as you know, if you're in the right place, Jesus is the solution to everything. And you're like, but 3+Kei, I don't have any money, or a situation for me, this person just passed away in my life. 3+Kei, or I'm failing school, or I lost my job, or whatever your issue might be. It might sound trite, and I want to recognize that. It might sound trite. Like, what do you mean that Jesus is the solution? And so when we're talking to people and they bring up these types of objections, we first want to recognize their humanity in the situation. It is not easy to lose a job. It is not easy to lose a person. Hello? It is not easy to need money when you don't have money. So it can come off quite insensitive when you hop right to Christ. What do we know about Christ? He's the great healer. He brings us comfort. In many instances, we can come together in fellowship and help soothe a person, or kind of like with Lord Poppy, in fellowship, we can help solve very realistic problems in Christ's name. So I would start there when people have, ooh, do you see this smoke? When people have these types of issues and you want to talk to them about Christ, especially if they don't know who he is and they're asking for a solution, and what you've got to them are just a lot of words. And so I would advise anybody of that, recognize, I would say, when evangelizing, recognize people's humanity. We were talking with Proverbs at some point in the last few weeks about what it means to rebuke somebody. Rebuke means to correct them and point them, redirect them in a correcting manner back toward Christ. But oftentimes when we seek to rebuke someone, our heart posture isn't correct because we actually don't even care about that person. What we care about is our own moral superiority, that we would never actually do that thing that they just did, and they're being inappropriate, and I'm going to tell them how Christ-like they are not. So when we were talking about rebuking people, you want to rebuke people with love. You have to check your own heart posture before you go correcting and saying what this person's doing wrong and this person's doing wrong. First of all, you too do wrong. Second of all, you would continue to do wrong if it weren't for the Holy Spirit. So none of us Christians are special in that regard. It is but God. I was down that path too, but God. I was smoking that too. I was doing that too. I was with that person. I was singing that too, but God. So when you rebuke somebody, you want to make sure that you check your heart posture first to see how much do you have love for that person? Or are you wanting to be right or even humiliate that person in the moment? The same goes for evangelizing. What is your true purpose? And only you know that. Okay, don't back up. That's really between you and the Lord. But we do know, right? Sometimes we get to talking to somebody about the Lord, and it's like we want them to have this information. And I've done it. I probably do it. I think I'm getting better at it. But if I don't like something you're doing, like, oh, so for instance, one thing for me, I do not like rude people. And I am the first, especially if you call yourself a Christian, I am the first one to tell you all about how you are not being kind. But I would tell you, if I'm being honest, only about 50% of the time am I actually concerned with you being kind, and more, if you understand, like, I'm being kind of mean in my own way, masked as rebuking you in the name of Jesus. Does that make sense? And we all do that. That's why we need to constantly ask for the Lord to gather us up, gather our edges, so to speak. But anyway, look for a solution. The solution is Jesus instead of asking for one. The practical response to something like that is, if you are at work, you know, or where's somewhere you would be asking for a solution? You're at work, you're with your family, every day, all day. Instead of being the one, how do I do this? What do I do next? All the questions. If you're the type of person that always has a question about something, somebody always has to tell you the next thing to do, start providing solutions. Oh, and particularly if you're the type of person that always sees something wrong with what somebody else is doing, shut up. That's rude, I know, but I'm serious. Be quiet. If you always have a comment about somebody else's solution, but none of your own, nobody's trying to hear all that. Christian. Thank you, Casey. All right, I'm going to look at what the next one is in a second. Oh, right in here. Everything to the left, to the left. All the dirty dishes to the left, to the left. While I'm drying this, let me see. When evangelizing, hopefully your true purpose is to bring glory to God, and that highlighted should be all there is to it. As long as you're doing that, by default, you're loving your neighbor through the truth. Some people, Allison, are not new. I think some people have a mask of glorifying God, and that's not their true intention. Their true intention is to be on, to display their moral superiority, and they forgot that they themselves were rescued. But you're right, in general, like that should be, we should be not only pointing people to the Lord, but explaining to them who Jesus Christ is and why he's the man and God. Oh. All right, let's see what the second one is. Oh, dang it. Second one is elicit desired responses instead of reacting. So this, I think, is a common one for me. I think Allison's like me in this regard, just kind of like talking about Jesus conversationally. And sometimes I remember I was talking to one of my childhood friends. Her name's Leslie. We've been friends for 30 years. And I was just talking about Jesus. I wasn't I was just talking about how my life is different. Yeah. Another day. When's the next? Let me know if you guys are ever doing are you doing Celtic Fest?
No. We're doing the fair next week.
Oh. We're not doing the fair, are we? Yeah, we're not doing
it. She was just telling me about the Renaissance Fair.
Oh my gosh!
I messaged them. We have the Grizzly on Saturday day, but we can come from 4 o'clock on Saturday and all day Sunday. So
yeah, I'll bring my little $14. As the owner of Serve and Time, they serve I used to call it hippie food. I didn't give it a chance, and then I did, and now it's like the only other food truck food I'll eat. It's like kind of like spinach and pulled pork and cheese, rice, kind of like a rice bowl but with lettuce. I don't know how to describe it, but it's fire with guacamole. Serve and Time. And I'll tell you this, Serve and Time. Oh, I'll take this burger if nobody's going to take it. What? Oh, that's really nice. I have the better than vomit. Better than vomit. What was I saying? Elicit the desired response instead of reacting. I was saying me and Allison speak conversationally. But oh yeah, my friend. And she's like, I'm not going to believe in Jesus. You can't make me. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was just telling you about my experience. But I will tell you this. Sometimes I'm trying to tell somebody about Jesus and they don't want to hear it. And if you've evangelized before, I'm sure this has been a very common experience for the newbies. Is you're really trying to convince people, and you yourself can start to get flustered, especially if they challenge you on something that you don't have the answer for. And I will tell you this, honesty always beats out. So not for nothing, here's a cheat code. There's an app called gotquestions.org, or it's a website, and then it's also an app, Got Questions. And so if somebody asks me a question about God, all I do is I'm like, oh, I don't know, but here's this app I have. Let's go look it up together. And then even then, that'll tell me how serious they are, because I think a very beautiful thing is that there are some people who are curious about the Lord, whether they're even if they're not interested in converting or whatever the case might be, Sometimes people are interested in learning more from a pure heart. Oh, that's disgusting. No, money is money. My goal is $50 a day. Well, because the 15, it'll even out, right? 15. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure what I would say for somebody that needs to change their reaction. I would say before, if you know you're about to set about talking with somebody about Christ, I think I say obvious, but I don't mean to be like maybe disrespectful when I say that, but I think like a go-to would be to pray for the person and for the Holy Spirit to move through you if your intention is like a planned evangelizing with somebody. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes people, you don't know how they're going to react when you set about that task, and some people get angry. And I watch these videos of people doing street evangelizing, and not often, that's not true at all, that's hyperbole. Sometimes I see people doing it in a way that is like, oh my gosh, I'm a whole Christian. I'm a whole soldier for the Lord, and I would absolutely walk away from you if I saw you. There's this one guy, he was at like an abortion clinic, and he was like literally yelling at these women, and he was so entirely aggressive. Like, I just couldn't. It was disgusting. And there's this other one I've seen too. That ain't it. And I know there's this whole thought, like, as long as you tell them the gospel, what they do with it is their business. And it's like, yeah, so what's something tasty? Chocolate cake. So if your grandma, right, was like, hey, I've got this chocolate cake for you, and you're like, oh, hey, look at that. But then you get closer and she like aggressively starts shoving it down your throat with a spoon, like violently. It doesn't matter how good that chocolate cake is. Like, yes, theoretically, I'm just saying, theoretically, that is really good chocolate cake. But the way she was getting you to try it makes you actually not want to deal with grandma again for sure, and not deal with maybe chocolate cake, and you might end up, right? You might eat some chocolate cake later down the line. But for some people, even if they will return to chocolate cake at some point, those same people might be put off from chocolate cake for a while. Does that make sense, guys? And so that's why I always harp on your delivery when going out to tell people about your faith. I'm not on the bandwagon of shoving it down the throat. I'm on the bandwagon of thoughtful delivery. I think that's a good way to put it. Thoughtful delivery. And then checking your own, kind of back to that little rebuke sidetrack we had the other day. Checking your own heart posture. And I will say this is probably terrible to say and probably offensive, but the devil knew the gospel too. The devil knows the gospel too. and will use his delivery of it to like delay. Don't let the devil use you. Don't let the devil use you today. Have a thoughtful, planned out delivery. If you're triggered here and there, and I will say this, I think maybe I'm wrong. I think I need to maybe parse this thought out a little bit more. But people who like evangelize to target specific groups, I think to that I would just say like mix it up here and there. Like if you're always going to the abortion clinic, you know, go to the group homes too. Go to the group homes too, is all I'm saying. And then you want a desired outcome, right? Ultimately, when you're evangelizing, the desired outcome is to win the soul and that person themselves come to Christ. But, and that was what I was saying, a very rookie mistake is thinking that you yourself are about to convert this person, and you are but a vessel, my friend. We are but vessels. And that can be tough. That can be tough when there's people that we love and we know Christ is the way and they're not budging. That can be tough. But your role, like, you're not God. Your role isn't, you know. It can be frustrating, I'll say that. You know. I was talking to I had therapy today. I absolutely adore my therapist. Mainly because it's just somebody that, like, knows everything about me that's not at all invested in the outcome at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And that will hold all my dirty little secrets. I don't know that I have any dirty little secrets that much. Maybe just not, maybe more just private things about myself. But I gave her the gospel today. And she said, you should start doing sermons. And I was like, yeah, I've thought about it. I had a job where part of my job was regularly delivering sermons to the female clients that I served. But I'm just kind of up in the air about whether my channel itself would be the format to deliver sermons. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you want to, if you'd be interested in that type of content. I think what it would look like is maybe like in December, for instance, I would do like a series of like 4 sermons, like a sermon a week on Mondays or whatever. Let me know. That could be a thing. Got this dirty water in my eyes. Yuck is right. Yucky ducky. But yeah, as far as eliciting desired responses, so we could take this food truck, for instance. Casey, as you'll see, I'm going back and forth, is the owner's son. The owner's Afghan. And I've been teaching Casey slowly but surely, like, how to sell these burgers in like such a fashion that they are appealing to people. And like, for instance, we have the most expensive item is called the 3 Forks. It's a $15 loaded fry. And when you're talking about the 3 Forks, because you're like, how do you sell somebody a $15 fry? You want to give it a try, Casey? You want to tell the people? No, he says. And so we live in Montana, and Montanans eat meat, baby. So when you're selling the Three Forks, when people are like, what is a loaded fry? I don't tell them about any other loaded fry but the Three Forks. And I'm like, so what's a loaded fries? Oh, the Three Forks has won Missoula's best side dish 4 years in a row, voted by thousands of people now. It is pulled pork, bacon, 2 kinds of cheeses, and barbecue sauce. And the reason why, and if I'm talking to a manly man, if you notice, I'll say, and the little sister to that, trying to play on his ego a little bit. But the reason why I say it in that order is to highlight, is to highlight the meat aspect and then the 2 kinds of cheeses. I say all that to say that I am wanting to elicit a certain response from the people that will order, and I'm starting with the most expensive item. You also have to know who who your audience is. So a guy came earlier, and Casey's my best wingman ever as far as 3+Kei is concerned. And he was like, ask them if they're a believer, because he knows by now, like, that's my opening line to start talking about Jesus with people and start talking about the channel is, oh, are you a believer? And he said, ask this guy if he's a believer. And I said, no, I'm not going to. And so when the guy left, he said, why didn't you ask him? And I said, well, there were context clues, because he was saying that he wears like essentially what equates to like hippie clothes on his days off. And he was talking about kind of like hippie type things. And that's not to say that a hippie can't be a believer, but you also have to read the room for your audience. So if I did want to talk to him about Jesus, what I would say is something like, oh, I bet Jesus wore Birkenstocks as a joke, and see where it went from there. But you got to figure out how to, now I'm talking to Afton. You got to figure out how to elicit the response that you're looking for instead of reacting to every little thing. And if somebody doesn't like what you're talking about, hate to tell you, maybe it is you, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, but it very much so could be your delivery. Back to grandma and the cake. We all like chocolate cake, but maybe we don't like it when grandma is forcing it down our throat. Does that make sense? All right. And then we have one final thing to talk about. I'll see in a second here. I just poured water all over my foot. Water all over my foot. I feel ya. Jesus called that whitewashed tombs. What did Jesus call whitewashed tombs? More coming your way. Okay, this is develop the uncommon habit of making decisions both for yourself and for others. Ben said it. Ben said it. You can literally tell people what to do.
Sorry, I need to go take that.
You can tell people what to do. And in that regard, while you're telling people what to do, this isn't time for a scheme to trick people into Jesus. But if your church has a fun activity going on, why not invite your friend to it? You know? Or a women's group. That's how I actually ended up at the church I go to now, I didn't know the person at all. I was doing a work thing. I was in a work meeting at a particular organization that like is very hippie like, and
Derogatory about that hippie stuff.
is it?
Are you sure? Well,
I just think about hippies like weed smoking and not doing anything really. Is that derogatory? What do you say? Like liberal type? Is that offensive? It's okay. That's not it either. So they were talking about what their signs were. And this was a meeting. This was like a literal meeting at a nonprofit. And it was the icebreaker, like, what's your sign? And I was like, I don't do none of that. And actually, after the meeting, two of the people that were also in the group thanked me, and they said they felt like, because they belonged to the organization, they felt like they couldn't say that. And they thanked me for my boldness. So continue to be bold, because you never know who you're inspiring. But anyway, I went outside, and the receptionist at the time was my friend, who's also a Christian. Who put barbecue sauce on my bag? Now I got a barbecue bag.
Okay, look it off. You can act like it's a sucker and look it off.
Gross. Are we done with dishes?
I don't know.
I think so.
I'm gonna.
Well, the guy doesn't stay here, then I'll have to wash it.
Oh no, I'm gonna drain it. I'm draining the swamp. And so I was telling my friend how like I was kind of uncomfortable with the fact that we were talking about signs and stuff. And she was like, yeah, it's always like that here. And then she said, all of us that work in the front, like the front end manager and whatever, she said, we're actually all Christians. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then the office manager invited me to the women's group at her church. And that's how I ended up at the church that I'm currently at. I'm not sure if it'll be my home church. I really wanted to have a home church by the end of last year. You have got to be.
She's nice though. I want to keep going. Just wipe it down.
Wipe it down.
Just wipe it down.
Do we need these gloves that are here? Just chilling?
You can just stick them on top of this. So yucky. Yeah. Casey? Oh yeah, if you were, excuse me. Let's stick this one right below you.
What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I wanted to have a home church by the end of last. What'd you say?
Just giving a sermon about the fucking hippies.
The hippies be hippieing.
Hippies.
Jesus was a hippie.
I know, that's why I'm like, I can't say that, but nice.
Oh, sorry. Ew, this is gross. But yeah, I wanted to have a home church by the end of 2024. But it didn't really work out that way. And I know many people are fine with, you know, they just kind of go where they land. But I'm kind of looking, you know, for like a decades long type situation. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm taking too long with this process or what. But I haven't found a church where I'm like, you know what? This is it. And the person who hears about it the most is my friend Afton. The things I won't say online.
The real honest review.
The real honest reviews. I think for me, and I don't know, guys, you tell me. I am kind of a louder person and I'm accessible, and it's like to dumb that down. The way I kind of have felt in the past is that being at church is like being in the corporate world, in that you have to behave a certain way, and it's definitely not come as you are. It's definitely more like be like everybody else and act like this. And I don't know. I mean, I know somebody would probably be like, right, like, well, this is how you behave when you're at church. You're solemn and you're, you know, as one person once put it, like, you know, you should be in reverence and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I guess. But if that's how it is, then that would make it maybe, I'm just talking out loud, make going to church for me more of a sacrifice in the way of having fellowship, and not in like developing relationships, but more like just being a part of the milieu. Like that's what it would end up being for me. And I don't know. I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong and I'm going to being wrong, but I feel like I don't harm anybody. Like anybody who knows me, even if you don't like me and my corny dad jokes and everything, one thing you can't say about me is that I'm like mean-spirited, or you know what I mean? Like I really don't do anything to like purposely hurt people.
Give me that rack. Let me put this in my pocket and ziploc for me.
And so probably I'm self-aware enough to know the biggest complaint about me is I'm loud and I joke around too much. It's like, okay. I had a friend tell me that actually once. She's like, what if what you value in the way of being happy and joyful isn't what other people value? I was like, what? That sounds terrible. That sounds like something I don't want to be around at all. But anyway, that's another subject for another time. Man, I want those cookies, but I'm not going to do it. Anyway, I got off track. The subject we were talking about is being able to make decisions both for yourself. You know what I could do? Both for yourself and for other people. And how that pertains to evangelizing. And I think all I could come up with that was like, invite people to your church activities. And like, don't be weird about it. Where's my phone's over there. Is that burger for me? Thanks, Ralph. I barely ate.
Hello?
I think I talk too much.
Okay.
All right. Oops. So that's what we got today. We got to take the old fun meter off, guys. Got to take the fun meter off. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Usually, we're in the thick of things. And instead, this is what it looks like. There's nobody here. This is usually filled with like 1,000 people. This is shut down. This is the River City Eats food truck. Do it one time for the gram. Don't forget, guys, River City Eats does have a YouTube channel. We need 50 people to subscribe so they can go on to their own live streaming. You can hit up at River City Eats, one word. Subscribe to their channel. I am 3+Kei. I am just an honest Christian here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. Tomorrow's the first day of August. We're going to talk about a few things. Make sure you hit the notification bell for tomorrow's live stream. And with that, I will talk to you later. Oh, wow, where did it rained. It rained and they told us to all go home and everybody went home. But the people, oh, you guys want to walk with me to the parking lot? Wait a minute. You know what I don't have are my keys. Okay. Ooh, just in the nick of time. Walk with me. Oops. Walk with me to the parking lot, guys. Hi, Ralph. Okay. See you guys. Yeah, it rained and they told us to pack up and go home, and all the people have gone away. But for those of you, oh, the lightning was amazing. Is that it? I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like. I think this is a cool